So Ray, tell us, what did you think of Arrietty?
It's great. I don't mean to be down, but I wanted to really test this film against all the great films I've seen because, I don't know, I thought that I'd been saying that it's a buy too much and I really wanted to put it to its straps.
Okay, and?
It made me feel like a marshmallow.
Aww.
Yeah. So, Arrietty, or Karigurashi no Arrietty in Japan, or The Secret World of Arrietty in America, is a 2010 Japanese animated fantasy film directed by Hiromasa Yonbayashi, written by, of course, Hayao Miyazaki and Kiko Niwa, and produced by Studio Ghibli. And it's based on Mary Norton's novel, The Borrowers.
Yes, which some of you may know is an absolutely gorgeous children's book.
Yes.
It won the Carnegie Medal in 1953, and it has actually been adapted to 3 films and a TV series previous to this version of it.
Now, the borrowers are tiny people who live in people's homes and borrow things to survive while keeping their existence unknown. Now, the film tells the story of Arrietty, a young borrower who lives under the floorboards of a typical household. Now, she eventually befriends Sho, who is a human boy with a heart condition since birth. He's actually living with his aunt, Sadako. Now, when Sadako's maid, Haru, becomes suspicious, Arrietty and her family must escape detection, even if it means leaving their beloved home. Studio Ghibli have been contemplating an adaptation of this film for 40 years. Now, it's not the first time that Ghibli have based their films on books. There's Grave of the Fireflies, My Neighbors the Yamadas, there's Howl's Moving Castle, that's just a few. And when I approached this film, I thought, okay, so you've got an award-winning novel and one of the best animation studios in the world, it can't fail, right? So we set off on this amazing journey, and I'm carried away by the sound, which is all extremely well done by Cecile Corbel. She did the score for the film, and she also sung the title theme song in English and Japanese and French and German and Italian. So yeah, it's quite amazing.
It's pretty cool. I also love the way that she actually got the job.
Yes.
She wrote to the studio saying how much of a fan she was, added a CD of her work, and well, obviously got the job. The rest is history. And she's such an amazing talent. She does such a beautiful job with Arrietty.
Yeah, the composition is beautiful, and I love it because it doesn't tell you how to feel or when to feel it, which is really great. It's a big plus from me. The film itself is a very touching tale. It's extremely well told. Now, the earlier parts of Arrietty are mostly told through action, which is great because it keeps the audience engaged, and it also displays Yonbayashi's talent for filmmaking. Now, the relationship between the characters are so clear, sometimes I forgot I was watching a cartoon. It's amazing. Now, what did you think of Arrietty herself? Wasn't she a beautiful character?
She really was.
Yeah.
She's a perfect depiction of innocence and wonder. She's so cute with her little peg holding her hair up.
Absolutely, I think she's beautiful. She's so touching and delicate, and when she lets her hair down, I let out a little sigh inside. I'm just so happy that she's graced our screen. And she's courageous at the same time. She's a wonderful, well-rounded character.
Yeah, she is. I also really loved her mother though, Homily. She's such a precious little thing, and her infatuation with refinement was really cute.
She's very, very funny. And I like Pod, the father too, just a solid man, a few words, high values kind of guy. And I actually enjoyed most of the characters, even the cat. The cat had a great character, but the one character I wasn't quite sold on was Haru, the maid. I love the characterization of her, but I couldn't quite understand her motive behind wanting to get rid of or eradicate the borrowers. Did you? Or?
Well, I think it's kind of unsaid. Like, every day the things that make us happy or give us joy are under threat by some unseen thing, and I think Haru was kind of that unseen thing.
Yeah, okay, so she's a device, kind of like a metaphor. I get that, but I couldn't understand. I just thought that her objective as a character could have been clearer because I didn't know what she wanted to do with the borrowers. Why didn't she want to capture them and sell them, for instance? Or did she want to, keep them and all to herself? I don't know what it was, but she wanted to just eradicate them, and I don't really know why. But look, the character itself was great. It had a different rhythm. That's the other thing. All the characters had different biorhythms, and I think that's really interesting too because it creates, just a different energies on the screen.
Yeah, I would go so far to say that everything has its own rhythm.
Okay, yep, you're right. That's a good observation, and because there is so much detail, all the little things that you come to take for granted because, you've either never noticed or I don't know, now you ignore them. Are just simply reinvented for you to rediscover. And at times I was wondering how long they must have spent looking at these details, because it is so refined. Now, no corner of any frame is unconsidered. And the use of invention, Sonya,
Well,
is...
that is where the kind of genius of Studio Ghibli comes in.
Absolutely.
How they've taken everyday objects and found a new way to use them, and the way the borrowers have chosen these weird things that we wouldn't even think about and what they use for them.
Absolutely. And the use of perspective as well, I thought was, well, arguably that's my favourite part of the whole film, how a ticking clock sort of reverberates through the floor, or how Arrietty turns a pin into a sword, the sheer weight of a tissue, or even the way, the shot they have of Arrietty sitting on Shou's shoulder as they revolve around the room. It's just so damn clever. It unwittingly takes you where you never expect, and that, I think, is the joy of this film. I did, however, have one continuity issue, but on the whole, Yon Bayashi's done amazing work for his first directorial debut. But on the flip side, there's a couple of little niggling things that get to me. I felt that the stakes could have been a little higher. For example, I didn't believe that the borrowers were anywhere in any real threat.
Yeah, but they were in danger of becoming extinct. That's a big threat. Extinction. Big threat.
I know what you're saying,
Come on.
but I don't think that it wasn't clear enough for me. I didn't believe it was a life and death situation.
Okay.
I didn't go there. It didn't bring me to that decision whether they could or couldn't. So,
Fair enough.
And the other thing was that Shou and Arrietty had such a wonderful relationship. I wanted to explore that further. It could have been introduced a little earlier, perhaps. And I thought that. I don't know, I like the idea of this secret or imaginary friend, and that you could sort of keep to yourself, and other people might think you're crazy because you don't want to share it with them. I don't know, that's an interesting concept that they could have pushed a little further.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to have seen that a little bit more as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, look, overall, you know, it's a great film, and I think that the story arc just needed a little bit more touching up. I wanted more weight to it, that's what I'm saying. But I can't give it a borrow because Ghibli have simply done it again. They have a way of just tinkering with your imaginations and playing with the things that you thought were lost and forgotten and putting it there on the screen, and it's just marvelous. It's astonishing. It's another astonishing piece of work, and so it relinquishes another buy from me.
Well, it was always going to get a buy from me from those first minutes.
Yes.
I absolutely adored it, and it's one of my new favourites, I think.
It is amazing.
I also think Studio Ghibli's done a wonderful job at honouring the original novel.
Absolutely.
It's a really beautiful adaptation of this story, so it's most definitely a buy from me. It's also good for all ages.
It is, absolutely.
Nice
yeah,
to see.
everyone can.
So, it's a buy. It wasn't that hard, was it, Ray?
No.
It's a buy.
That's right.
Don't you believe in little people?
Midgets or dwarves?
I know, I'm not talking to anymore.
Pygmies.
No.
Knee highs.
No.
Low riders?
No.
What did I say?